Hello, welcome to this slide hardening Dockerfile with ChatGPT. As you might remember, in the last slide, we created a Dockerfile and we reached to this point. Like we generated this Dockerfile with the help of a Docker prompt template. Okay, and then we updated our compose.yaml file, and now the application is running. As you can see here, if I click this link, okay, now I'm able to access the running Spring Boot application. Okay, however, some few things are not configured, but that's a part of the Spring Boot. Okay, so in this slide, we will learn about hardening the Docker file. Okay, so first we will paste ChatGPT initial Docker file and ask the following questions like add non-root user, reduce layer count, and externalize config via environment variable. So this approach is used to optimize the Docker file. Okay, so as suggested, I will paste my Docker file. Let's see. Okay, what I do, okay, I paste the Docker file. Please analyze this Docker file and answer me the following questions. Yeah, something has happened, but I think we will get the relevant answer. Okay, so we have got quick analysis of our Docker file. Multi-stage build, it's a good, but don't go into runtime image. Okay, first thing. Good caching pattern. Okay, run as a numeric UID is allowed, but app are owned by root by default. If your app ever need to write log, temp, it can fail with permission error. This is a suggestion, but we have to go through the suggestion very seriously. Okay, this is very important. Create a dedicated user group in the runtime image and ensure app plus jar ownership. We are creating, yes, here we are adding this. Okay, this is the first step. Okay, reduce layer count. Combine runtime run command into one. Copy CHOWN. So you don't need extra CHON, CHOWN layer after copy. Optional. Keep the build layer separate for caching. Okay. Keep a build layer separate for caching. Externalize configuration. Java tool option or JDK Java option, so you can use exec form entry point without sh-c. For Spring Boot config, use environment variable like Spring profiles active, Spring data source URL, username. Okay, this is a different way, like when we are running a Docker file, Docker separately. Okay, but here we are running Docker via Docker Compose. First we are commenting it, then we will remove it once we are satisfied with the result we want. But user is not added so far. So user is Okay, so now I think it is quite well optimized. Let's see. 511 MB. So yeah, let's see what is the size of. Mhm. 4AF service chat app. Okay. So size seems to be increased actually. Hmm. But yeah, we have added some security features, so that would be a reason why size has increased a bit. Okay, and that is bit optimization. Size could little bit increase, and yeah, let's check the functionality. Maybe we can get the same. Okay, this time it is not working, so something is seriously wrong. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Okay. So now this application is working, but I'm not following the Docker suggested file. So let's see what is the problem here because I think this non-root user is creating some problem. Okay, so I do one thing. I copy. I just comment out everything in Docker file. Okay. Now I have to ask. Like I have a Docker compose file. Follow. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I have this Docker file. Now I restart my application and let's see what is the problem. I'm using the ChatGPT suggested Docker file now. Okay. Now if I try to access it, it is not working. It is not working at all. Okay. So something is like damaged. Something is not working here. Thomas cat 8080, but why it is saying, oh, I understand it. I made a mistake here. Hey, this is the reason. I got the reason. The server port is the reason. Okay, just want to see at what page 8081. Okay, so let's restart it again. And hopefully this time it will work. Yes, it is working. Okay. Yeah, because there is no data in the database. So that's why I'm getting this. So yeah. Okay, now I see some more stuff about this image. Maybe something got changed. Okay. Image size is almost same. Okay. Image size is same. Okay, so I think it's better to think in a bit different way. Like, okay, so how we can analyze the Docker image? That is also a question because I, I see only one thing that there's a log. Okay, images 511.66 MB, and earlier it was showing 511. Uh, okay, so let's ask ChatGPT. Okay, I don't think I need to make any change to compose file as of now. How to analyze? Please suggest tool. Please suggest some tool to analyze Docker images. And I think there is a tool called Trivi. Yes, that's what I was thinking. I will use Trivi. I heard a lot about it, and it has a very good reputation. So I would go with Trivi as of now. Trivi. So see, the purpose of this lecture was to add, analyze it. We have got a new, but we have to analyze. No, we have to analyze our Docker file. Only then we could get to know that there is advantage of it or not. This is purely advantage. Yes, reducing layer count means our image size must be reduced, but it is not reduced. Okay. Externalized configuration, yes, that is another thing. But yeah, we have externalized configuration before, so that is not too relevant as of now. But we did some reducing layer count and we added non-root user. So okay, so we have to analyze this Docker image. Okay, okay. There is a plugin that we can use. Okay, so in the next slide, we will certainly go into detail about Trivi, how we use Trivi with Docker images. Okay, and I will explain you more about Trivi. So thank you very much for watching this slide. At least we achieve our target. Like we have a Docker file, I pasted Docker file, I added non-user, I minimize the layer. Okay, I externalize all these things and explain all these things to you. Okay, so this is like adding non-root user. Then I've tried to reduce the layer. This is also like externalizing. So if I'm doing this thing, I probably don't need to do this thing. Okay, because from here I'm externalizing this application. Okay, so that's the purpose of this slide, and we are done with it. So thank you very much for watching this slide, and let's move to the next slide.